Welcome to Tomorrow Unveiled, your shortcut to being well-informed about the future. Today, we're getting strapped in. We're diving into the latest, pretty groundbreaking developments in wearable technology.
Yeah, it feels like things are really accelerating in this space.
They really are. For too long, these gadgets have been about interacting with a little screen or maybe shouting commands at your wrist.
That's right, tapping and swiping.
Yeah,
We're talking to your watch.
exactly. But there's this really profound shift happening now. We're moving towards deep integration with our actual human experience.
Blurring the lines.
Totally blurring the lines between us and our tech. So our mission today on Tomorrow Unveiled is basically to uncover how these recent launches and some really cutting-edge science are fundamentally redefining human-computer integration.
What it actually means for tech to be part of us.
Precisely. We're going to look at exciting new devices just hitting the market, some revolutionary research from our dedicated research team.
Stuff happening right now in the labs.
Real-world applications that are transforming everything from, say, healthcare to heavy industry. And of course, we have to talk about the challenges.
Always challenges. And big questions that come with this kind of shift. It's genuinely a fascinating moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're moving beyond just, passively collecting step counts or heart rate.
Yeah, the fitness tracker era feels almost quaint now.
Kind of. Now it's about devices that actively augment our perception, our movement, even our intentions.
So not just reacting to us, but anticipating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This isn't just human-computer interaction as we knew it. We're calling it HCI2,
HCI2, a second generation.
signaling that fundamental shift, where devices don't just process your commands, they might actually anticipate your needs, enhance your capabilities,
Yeah.
becoming, extensions of ourselves rather than just tools we pick up and put down.
Game-changing commercial launches.
Okay, so let's kick things off with some of the big product announcements from the past week or so, the ones really pushing this integration idea forward.
Right, the commercial side.
First up, Meta. They're making a really ambitious leap into consumer augmented reality.
I'm hearing a lot about this.
Yeah, they're gearing up to launch their Hypernova AR glasses. Codename was Celeste, I think, later this year. And these aren't just, fancy sunglasses. The goal seems to be fundamentally reshaping our daily digital interactions.
How so? What are the key features?
Well, they feature a monocular heads-up display, a HUD. It's strategically placed apparently lower right on the right lens.
Okay, so not blocking your main view.
Exactly. That's the idea.
Yeah.
For what Meta calls glanceable information. Think notifications popping up subtly, turn-by-turn directions,
Maybe song titles or something.
or even photos you just took, all without obstructing your primary field of view. And get this, the camera on these glasses is reportedly on par with a high-end smartphone.
Wow, okay. That's a pretty big step up for a wearable camera. Usually they're okay-ish.
Right, a significant upgrade.
Yeah. But the real innovation, the piece that genuinely caught my attention, wasn't just the display. It's the wristband that comes with it, the Series Neural wristband.
Ah, yes, the brain interface angle. Tell us more.
Well, it uses something called surface electromyography, SEMG.
Okay.
Basically, it detects the subtle electrical nerve signals traveling from your brain down to your hand before you even consciously move much.
Whoa. So it knows what you intend to do.
Pretty much. It's supposedly so precise it can register the intention to move a finger by just a millimeter.
That's incredible. What does that let you do, though?
Imagine rotating your hand slightly to scroll through a menu you see in the glasses, or just pinching your thumb and forefinger together to select something.
Ah, okay. So control without obvious gestures or voice commands.
Exactly. Seamlessly, socially acceptably, you wouldn't look weird doing it, and with incredible precision. This feels like a genuine paradigm shift from tapping screens or talking out loud.
Yeah, that does sound different. Now, Meta isn't shying away from bold moves with pricing either, are they?
No, seems not.
They're aggressively aiming for mass market adoption.
Yeah.
The entry-level price is rumored around $800, which is, still a lot, but way down from earlier internal estimates, apparently.
$800.
What's your take on that strategy? Is it just a bold play to get these things out there, or is there maybe a deeper game happening?
That's a really good question, and I think it's probably both. Look, the true genius, and maybe the part that makes you pause behind that aggressive $800 price tag, it probably isn't just about selling lots of AR glasses.
Okay.
It feels like a strategic move to turn every single user of that series wristband into a well, a data point.
Feeding the machine.
Feeding a massive real-world machine learning engine, an engine that will basically define the future of these neural interfaces. They're effectively building the next computing platform, and they're building it on your subtle interactions.
So the widespread adoption is key for the data.
Absolutely crucial. To collect those vast, diverse data sets, they need to train the really sophisticated AI models for whatever comes next in AR.
Yeah.
More advanced platforms.
And it also gets us used to interacting this way.
That too. It's conditioning users, teaching us a new kind of intuitive interaction language, smoothing the path for even more capable devices down the road.
Makes sense. So while Meta's focused on how we see and interact with the digital world, another big player, Qualcomm, is working on keeping our wearables connected. Always connected.
Right, the underlying platform tech.
Let's shift focus from AR to maybe smartwatches and always-on communication. Their latest Snapdragon W5 Gen 2 wearable platforms. This stuff is set to power a whole new wave of Wear OS devices. Google Pixel Watch included, I believe.
Yeah, this is important foundational tech. And the core innovation here, the really big news, is NBNTN satellite connectivity.
NBNTN. Okay, break that down.
Narrowband non-terrestrial network. Basically, satellite comms. It's an industry first for a wearable system on a chip, the main processor.
And what does it let you do?
It allows two-way emergency messaging directly from your smartwatch, completely independent of your phone or any cell service.
Whoa, okay, so if you're out hiking, no signal.
Exactly. Picture it like a persistent lifeline. For users in remote areas, off-grid, maybe even disaster zones where cell towers are down.
That transforms a smartwatch from just a convenience device?
Into a critical, potentially life-saving tool.
That's huge. Are there other improvements too?
Yeah, beyond that life-saving feature, the platform also includes something called Location Machine Learning 3.0.
Improving GPS.
Significantly improving GPS accuracy, apparently. Even in tricky spots like dense cities, those urban canyons where signal gets blocked. Plus, they've optimized the RF front end.
The radio bits?
Right, which allows for smaller, more power-efficient watch designs. So, better battery life, sleeker watches, maybe. Lots of tech packed in.
Definitely. And broadening our perspective a bit, what Qualcomm is doing here is effectively democratizing a really high-value, life-saving feature, something that used to be pretty exclusive.
Like on those specialized satellite communicators. Exactly. By integrating this into their main platform, they're lifting the entire Wear OS ecosystem's competitive standing. They're challenging the existing market leaders, pushing the whole market forward. Better features for everyone, eventually.
Interesting. And speaking of new ways to interact, particularly neural interfaces,
Yeah.
there was also news from Wearable Devices Ltd.
Ah, yes, the patent.
They just got a U.S. patent granted for a wristband, another wristband, using biopotential sensors, capturing neural and muscular signals.
Yeah, similar space to Meta series, but maybe different applications in mind initially.
Seems like it. What's the breakthrough there?
Well, the patent highlights its capability for gesture-based control, sure, but also measuring physical forces.
Like how hard you're gripping something.
Exactly. Weight, grip strength, things like that, measured directly from the wrist signals. This seems like a really significant step for developing seamless, natural human inputs. Maybe less for consumer AR initially and more for, say, Industry 4.0.
Smart factories. Automation.
Think smart factories, automated industrial processes, controlling robots with gestures, getting feedback on force, and also for advanced XR, extended reality interfaces, where that kind of input is crucial.
Breakthrough research. Building tomorrow's foundation.
Okay, so that's a taste of the commercial side. Let's transition now. Let's move from the exciting products you might be able to buy soon to the really cutting-edge science, the stuff happening in the lab.
The foundational work.
Exactly. These breakthroughs are truly laying the groundwork for the next generation of deeply integrated devices. And one particularly compelling piece of research comes from our dedicated research team. It involves a novel method for stimulating human brain organoids.
Brain organoids. These are the tiny lab-grown clusters of brain cells, right? Like mini brains.
Sort of, yeah. 3D models of the human brain grown in vitro. And the team is stimulating them using graphene.
Graphene. Okay, interesting. How does that work? So this technique, they call it GramOS, graphene-mediated optical stimulation.
OS.
Got it. It's a genuine breakthrough, really. It leverages graphene's unique properties. Basically, graphene converts light into gentle, non-damaging electrical cues.
Light into electricity, but gently.
Very gently. And when you apply this to these brain organoids, this light-induced stimulation encourages the neurons inside to start forming connections, communicating with each other. It significantly speeds up their maturation process.
And it's safe.
That's the crucial part. It's non-invasive. It doesn't require genetic modification of the cells or sticking electrodes in, which could damage the delicate tissue. Completely light-based.
Okay, so what did the research find? Faster maturation.
Yeah, the key findings include this accelerated maturation, which is incredibly valuable if you're studying neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
Because you get a more developed model to study faster.
Exactly. It speeds up research timelines. And the graphene also proved to be completely biocompatible, safe for the organoids. So, yeah, safe and effective.
But the the mind-blowing part here isn't just stimulating these organoids to grow faster. It's the proof of concept that followed.
Oh, what did they do?
It's unprecedented proof that a living biological neural network, the organoid, can directly integrate and communicate with a machine as an active coprocessor.
Wait, communicate with a machine? How?
Our research team successfully linked a Gramos-stimulated brain organoid to a simple robot in a closed feedback loop.
A closed loop so they talk to each other.
Essentially, yes. When the robot sensed an obstacle, it sent a light signal to the organoid via the Gramos system.
Oh, okay.
The organoid then processed this input, generated a specific neural pattern, which was then read, translated into a command for the robot to change course to avoid the obstacle.
And this worked quickly.
This entire loop, robot senses, signals organoid processes, signals robot moves, happened in under 50 milliseconds.
50 milliseconds, that's
Guys,
wow.
it's incredible. This isn't just brain-computer interface in the traditional sense. It's like a genuine biohybrid conversation. It really blurs the lines of what computation even means. You've got a biological neural network acting as an integrated component of a technological system, a coprocessor made of living cells.
That is truly mind-bending stuff. Okay, so we've talked about seeing, controlling, even connecting biology and machines. But what about touch? The sense of touch has always felt a bit left behind in digital experiences, hasn't it?
Yeah, historically it's been pretty basic. Buzzes and vibrations mostly.
Right. But it feels like we're finally moving beyond that, towards really rich multisensory feedback, effectively digitizing the sense of touch.
Absolutely. The developments here are quite remarkable lately. We're seeing things like thermal haptics.
Feeling hot and cold.
Exactly. Simulating sensations of hot and cold. Imagine being able to recognize virtual materials just by feeling their temperature through gloves or a controller.
Okay, that adds a whole new layer.
Then there's work on self-healing bioelectronics. Think durable smart gloves, maybe for defense applications, with biosensing capabilities built right in that can repair themselves if damaged.
Self-healing gloves.
Okay.
And also, crucially, soft, unobtrusive wearables, things like rings or devices that just sit on your fingertip.
So not bulky gloves all the time.
Right. These use different techniques, like tiny pneumatic or hydraulic systems, to render really complex sensations. Roughness, softness, even those thermal cues again. All while potentially keeping your fingertips free to interact with the real world, too.
Why is getting haptics right so critical, though? Because for truly immersive, and maybe more importantly functional, AR and VR experiences, sophisticated touch is non-negotiable. Think about high-stakes applications.
Like remote surgery?
Exactly. Or complex industrial repair guided remotely. Or even realizing that whole concept of the industrial metaverse. You need realistic touch feedback for those to work properly. It's what makes the virtual feel, well, real, tangible. Makes sense. It grounds the whole experience. Okay, that's a lot to take in, from brain organoids to haptic rings. If you're finding this insightful and you're watching on YouTube, please do take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Tomorrow Unveiled, and definitely turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the future we're exploring here.
Real-world applications across frontiers.
All right, so we've seen the new products, we've peeked into the lab. Let's now connect these innovations, these breakthroughs, to their tangible impact. How is this stuff actually being used, or how will it be used soon across different sectors?
Yeah, let's ground it a bit. And a really crucial aspect of this evolution is how things like AR glasses are already augmenting the workforce today.
Not just future stuff.
Not just future stuff. They're enhancing worker productivity, giving people hands-free, glanceable instructions right in their field of view. Checklists, schematics, all appearing in real time.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about vision picking in warehouses. Workers get visual cues overlaid on their view, guiding them straight to the right item on the shelf.
Ah, okay. Faster and fewer mistakes.
Exactly. Or imagine a field technician working on complex machinery, getting guidance from a remote expert who sees what they see through the glasses. It leads to better inventory identification, significantly reduced errors. It's about efficiency and accuracy.
And what about those satellite-enabled wearables we talked about earlier? The Qualcomm tech, right? Those are proving to be absolute game changers for lone worker safety. Think about people working in remote or hazardous sectors.
Energy, mining, forestry,
All right.
places with no cell signal.
Precisely. For those individuals, these devices provide a persistent lifeline. They can send a manual SOS alert with their exact location.
And some have automatic detection too, right? Like if someone falls.
Yeah, automatic man-down detection. Plus that two-way messaging capability. It means help can be dispatched even when cellular networks are completely down. It's quite literally a lifesaver in those situations.
Huge for peace of mind for both the workers and their employers. Now, shifting to healthcare. That Gremos research we discussed from our dedicated research team, that's directly accelerating neurodegenerative disease research.
Right, by making better brain models faster.
Exactly. By creating more accurate, rapidly maturing brain organoids, researchers can study diseases like Alzheimer's at a cellular level much more effectively. And it provides a superior platform for testing new potential drugs, hopefully speeding up drug discovery.
And tying back to remote healthcare again, those satellite wearables change the game for emergency response in off-grid locations too, don't they? They fundamentally change it. An adventurer who gets hurt on a remote trail, or maybe a victim in a natural disaster cut off from communication,
They can still call for help.
they can transmit an SOS with their precise GPS location. That ensures first responders can be activated and directed right to the scene. It bridges a critical gap in emergency services that honestly felt almost impossible to solve before.
It's amazing how connectivity is reaching everywhere now and beyond emergencies. Well, medical-grade wearables are increasingly being used in clinical trials, continuously capturing physiological data activity, sleep patterns, heart rate variability over long periods, providing much richer data than periodic checkups.
More data, better insights.
Hopefully. And there are even therapeutic neurostimulation devices being developed. Wearables designed not just to monitor, but to treat. For instance, some are being tested to help reduce opioid withdrawal symptoms, offering completely new avenues for treatment.
Wow. Okay, so industry, safety, healthcare. What about us, just regular consumers? How does this tech change our daily lives or entertainment?
Well, for consumers, devices like Meta's Hypernova glasses, at least initially, seem focused on productivity and convenience.
Making life a little easier. Kind of. Offloading those simple smartphone tasks, giving you that glanceable information, messages, directions, maybe quick photo capture without the friction of constantly pulling out your phone.
Reducing interruptions.
Yeah, making daily digital interactions feel much more seamless, maybe less distracting overall. That seems to be the near-term goal.
But looking a bit further out, the convergence of these really advanced AR displays, combined with those sophisticated multimodal haptic feedback systems we talked about, that promises much richer, more realistic gaming and entertainment.
So feeling the game, not just seeing it.
Imagine not just seeing a virtual stadium seat at a sports game, but maybe feeling the rumble of the crowd through haptics or the impact of a tackle in a football game. It adds a whole new dimension.
Yeah, that sounds immersive.
And this goes even further into the realm of cognitive augmentation.
Okay, what's that?
Think about AI-powered glasses acting almost like a second brain, giving you real-time information relevant to your situation, maybe offering memory assistance.
Like remembering someone's name instantly.
Yeah. Or pulling up key facts during a conversation, making you feel essentially super intelligent in everyday situations. That's a longer-term vision, but it's where some of this is heading.
A second brain.
Yeah.
Fascinating. And maybe a little scary. It is a lot to consider. And if you're listening to Tomorrow Unveiled on a podcast service, perhaps Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could take a moment to leave us a rating and review. It genuinely helps us reach new listeners and share these kinds of insights more widely.
Challenges and strategic considerations.
Now, we've talked a lot about the potential, the excitement, but with such immense power comes, well, significant responsibilities and hurdles.
The flip side of the coin.
Exactly. Let's talk about some of the major challenges and strategic considerations that arise as our technology gets this deeply integrated into our lives.
Definitely need to cover this.
The first one, and it feels like maybe the most critical, is the privacy and security dilemma. It just looms large, doesn't it?
Hugely. Especially with AR.
These AR glasses, like Meta's Hypernova with their inconspicuous always-on cameras, maybe microphones too, they raise really serious societal concerns.
The bystander problem.
The bystander problem, exactly. How do we navigate the erosion of privacy for people who aren't wearing the glasses but are being recorded? Where are the clear consent frameworks, and what about the potential for misuse?
Surveillance, doxing.
All of it. When the line between observer and participant gets so incredibly thin, it brings up that whole panopticon idea, doesn't it? Constant potential observation, but woven into everyday life, and potentially accessible by anyone wearing the tech.
And this brings us to an even more critical point, perhaps. Neurosecurity.
Security for brain interfaces.
Yes. For brain-computer interfaces, the risks are truly unprecedented. They potentially target the very source of our identity, our thoughts, our intentions.
What kind of risks are we talking about?
Well, there's the concept of brain tapping. Unauthorized interception of your neural data. Could someone infer your unspoken thoughts, your emotional state? Maybe even security credentials like PNs or passwords just by reading brain signals.
That's deeply unsettling.
It is. And then there's the flip side, malicious input. Could harmful signals be sent to your brain via an interface to manipulate your actions, maybe induce false sensory experiences, or overload your cognitive processes?
Wow. So it's not just about reading data, but potentially writing harmful data, too.
Exactly. The integrity of the AI algorithms processing this data is also a vulnerability. Our very thoughts and intentions, they could become vulnerable in ways we've never had to consider before.
Okay, that's a lot. Beyond the profound security risks, what about just getting people to use these things? The adoption barriers, right? The practical hurdles, that $800 price tag for Hypernova, for example. It's aggressive, yes, but it still puts it firmly in the premium category for most people.
Not an impulse buy.
Definitely not. And then there are the practical things, like battery life. How long do these glasses last? Do I need to charge the glasses and the wristband separately every night? That adds friction.
The charging hassle.
And of course, the social factor. The glass hole effect, as it was called with Google Glass. Is there still a social stigma attached to wearing camera-equipped devices on your face? For many people, that's a very real concern.
Absolutely. And that leads right into the challenge of comfort and just the form factor itself.
How they look and feel.
Yeah. For these devices to be truly integrated, something you wear all day, they need to be unobtrusive, comfortable.
Lightweight.
Not like wearing a brick on your face.
Exactly. Issues like bulk, weight, how much heat they generate, potential skin irritation. These are all still active areas of R&D. Nobody wants to wear something clunky or annoying all day, no matter how smart it is.
True. And taking an even broader societal view, there's a serious risk here of exacerbating the digital divide, isn't there? A huge risk. If access to these kinds of capability-enhancing technologies, things like augmented memory, seamless information access, precise neural control, if that access isn't equitable.
If it's only for the wealthy.
It could significantly widen existing socioeconomic disparities. You could potentially create a new kind of class divide, the augmented versus the unaugmented. That's a serious ethical consideration.
Which leads to regulation, or the lack thereof.
Precisely. We're seeing technological innovation just galloping ahead, far outpacing the development of the necessary ethical guidelines and legal regulations.
The law can't keep up.
There's an urgent need for new frameworks. How do we govern the collection, storage, and use of this incredibly sensitive neural data? Who owns your brain data? What about cognitive liberty, the right to control your own mental processes? Who's accountable if a BCI induces a harmful action?
So many unanswered questions.
Huge questions. It's largely unresolved, creating this kind of legal and ethical vacuum that we as a society really need to address. And quickly.
It's definitely food for thought. And we love hearing your thoughts on all this. Whether you're on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast app, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this week's discussion on wearable tech and its deep integration into our lives. What excites you most? What are your biggest concerns?
Conclusion.
Wow, what an incredible journey through the latest in wearable technology today. It really feels like we've witnessed this definitive shift, doesn't it? Moving beyond simple interaction towards that deep human-computer integration.
Absolutely. The narrative has clearly changed.
We've seen the rise of AR glasses looking more likely for mass adoption, ubiquitous satellite connectivity becoming almost a standard feature, at least in higher-end devices, groundbreaking research in neural interfaces and those advanced haptics.
And underlying it all, that trend of AI migrating more and more to the edge, onto the devices themselves. Yeah, it all reinforces that idea we touched on earlier, this concept of an augmentation layer.
An augmentation layer. Explain that again.
It's this idea of interconnected devices seamlessly merging digital intelligence with our own human perception, our cognition, our actions. driven by advances in AI, relentless miniaturization, and these novel interfaces like neural bands, haptics that go way beyond traditional screens, bringing the digital world closer, making it part of our experience.
The promise there is just immense, isn't it? These technologies genuinely hold the potential to profoundly enhance our lives, to make us smarter, safer, more connected in ways we're only just beginning to grasp.
The potential is staggering.
But as we discussed, with that promise comes incredible responsibility.
Always. So, looking ahead maybe 12 to 24 months, what do we expect to see?
Well, I think we can definitely expect an intensifying ARglasses arms race, more players, more features, competitive pricing.
Agreed. And I think satellite connectivity will become pretty standard in premium wearables. It's just too compelling a feature.
We'll also likely see increased R&D, maybe even early prototypes of less invasive BCI technologies, moving beyond wristbands eventually.
And more on-device AI. For privacy reasons, for speed, less reliance on the cloud for core functions.
And the integration into our daily ecosystems, it won't just be about one device, will it? It'll be about multi-device, human-centric platforms working together.
That seems to be the trajectory, a network of devices augmenting us. Which brings us back to that final, maybe provocative thought.
Leave us with something to chew on.
As these wearables become ever closer, becoming true extensions of ourselves, how do we ensure we retain control? Control over what makes us uniquely human? Our agency, our privacy, our inner world, even as we embrace the potentially superhuman capabilities these technologies offer.